Welcome to Mind Set in Stone podcasts, where we dive deep into the most compelling books on the shelf. Join hosts Dave and Poppy as they uncover the stories, themes, and ideas that shape our understanding and inspire curiosity. Get ready to explore the big ideas that leave a lasting impact. Let's get started.
Welcome to the Mind Set in Stone podcast. Today we're diving into a book that promises to fundamentally shift how you perceive not just your relationships, but, well, your entire existence. It's The Vortex, where the law of attraction assembles all cooperative relationships by Esther and Jerry Hicks, which channels the profound teachings of Abraham.
Yeah, and this isn't your typical relationship guide focusing solely on, romantic partners or family. This deep dive is really about understanding your relationship with everything, your colleagues, your government, even your own body, and maybe most significantly, your intrinsic connection to your non-physical source. Our mission today is to unpack the core concepts and the practical wisdom within the vortex, guiding you to a clearer understanding of how you truly create your reality and how to deliberately step into a life rich with joy and expansion.
Exactly. And what makes this, I think, truly transformative is the journey we'll take to identify and replace some of these flawed premises that many of us unknowingly operate under. These aren't just minor missteps, They are fundamental misunderstandings that can keep us out of alignment. We'll be exchanging them for universal law-based truths that can dramatically enhance your well-being. So get ready for some genuine aha moments, because these insights, well, they have the power to genuinely redirect your thoughts and ultimately reshape your entire life experience. Okay, so to truly grasp the essence of these teachings, the Vortex invites us to start at the very beginning, like before we even took on this physical form. It talks about our existence as pure, non-resistant consciousness. What does that really mean for, how we understand ourselves?
It's a powerful foundational idea, definitely. Before a part of your vast consciousness focused itself into your physical body, you were essentially an intelligent, clear, and perfectly happy, non-resistant consciousness. Think of it as a state of absolute wholeness, pure potential, incredibly eager for the new, rich experience of physical life, knowing it would bring even further expansion and joy. Your only relationship in that profound pre-physical state was with your source, what many might call God or universal energy. There was no discernible separation, no otherness. You were source, intertwined completely, much like how, say, your fingers are an integral part of your hand. It highlights our innate connection to immense well-being.
It sets such a powerful baseline, doesn't it? That we began as this integrated, non-physical, joyful being. Then came the moment of our physical birth, and with it, what the book calls our first, most significant relationship. Can you elaborate on that a bit?
Absolutely. The moment you were born, a part of that expansive consciousness focused itself into this physical body. And that's when your first, and arguably most important, relationship began. The relationship between the physical you, the person listening right now, and the non-physical you, what Abraham refers to as your inner being or broader perspective. This brings us head-on to a significant misunderstanding, what the Vortex identifies as flawed premise, #1, which is, I am either physical or non-physical, either dead or alive.
Right. And this premise is incredibly misleading, isn't it? It suggests this sort of binary either existence. The true insight, the aha here, is that both aspects of you exist simultaneously. Your inner being didn't just, cease to be once you were born. On the contrary, it embarked on an incredible journey of expansion directly because of the unique experiences and growth your physical self is having. It's not a choice between physical or non-physical. It's a constant, dynamic, and ever-expanding connection that profoundly shapes every single aspect of your reality.
Precisely. And this fundamental relationship between your physical self and your inner being is paramount for several, profound reasons. Firstly, those emotions you feel, your emotional guidance system, they're direct, in-the-moment feedback from the vibrational relationship between these two parts of you. Positive emotion signals alignment, while negative emotion indicates discord with your broader self's perspective. It's your internal compass, really.
So those feelings aren't just arbitrary, they're information. That's powerful. And the book explains that this isn't just a one-way street. It benefits us in other ways, too.
Absolutely. Secondly, as your physical self navigates the leading edge of life, encountering new contrasts, forming new desires, reaching for new thoughts and experiences, you receive the immense benefit of the stable, expansive knowledge and wisdom of your non-physical counterpart. Your inner being holds the bigger picture, offering clarity and helping you to evolve effortlessly towards your highest good. And thirdly, the non-physical part of you, your inner being, benefits tremendously from the constant expansion that your physical experience continually carves out. Every new desire, every clarified preference born from contrast adds to the growth of all that is, of Source itself.
Wow. It's truly a co-creative dance then, a partnership. And this inner dynamic, this relationship with our inner being, it affects everything else in our lives.
Yes, and this is perhaps the most crucial point. Fourthly, every other relationship you have, whether it's with other people, animals, your own body, money, abstract concepts, or life itself, is profoundly affected by this all-important primary relationship with your inner being. It's the linchpin for everything else. Cultivating and understanding this inner alignment is, therefore, the absolute foundation for not just a good life, but a truly joyful and fulfilling one. It sets the stage for every interaction and every creation in your experience.
Okay, so if this inner alignment is the bedrock, the absolute foundation, what's the universal mechanism that takes our aligned thoughts and actually brings them into our physical reality? That's where the law of attraction comes in, right? How does this universal law, which many have heard of, take on a deeper, almost mechanical meaning within these teachings?
You've hit on the core mechanism, yes. The fundamental principle governing all existence, from the smallest atom to the grandest galaxy, is the law of attraction. That which is like unto itself is drawn. This law isn't just some vague spiritual concept. It's the meticulous, universal manager of all vibration. Every thought you give attention to, every emotion you feel, creates a unique vibration, a kind of energetic signature. Think of it like a personal radio signal you're constantly broadcasting, and the universe responds by sending you things on that exact frequency. When you give thought to something, you immediately begin the process of attracting its essence into your life experience.
So it's a constant active process then, meaning we're always attracting, even when we feel stuck or like nothing is happening.
Precisely. This means that every experience you have, wanted or unwanted, comes to you in direct response to the vibrational requests you're constantly sending out with your thoughts. The more attention you give to any subject, the more active its vibration becomes within you. And the longer that sustained attention, the more powerful the attraction, eventually leading to its manifestation in your physical reality. The true aha here is recognizing that your point of attraction isn't just your conscious desires, but the sum total of your chronic thoughts, especially those subconscious default patterns. It's a profound call to mindful thought because your reality is quite literally being built by your inner narrative, whether you're aware of it or not.
That's a powerful and, slightly daunting realization. Okay, this leads us to a core concept that really brings it all together, your vibrational escrow and the vortex of creation. Can you help us visualize these ideas? What is the vortex, practically speaking?
Let's imagine your vortex as a constantly expanding, like an ultra-high definition, fully assembled reality waiting just for you. Every time your physical life experience causes you to desire something new, perhaps an improvement in a relationship, a new career path, or greater well-being, that desire isn't just a fleeting wish. It instantly launches what Abraham calls a rocket of desire, and that request gets stored in your vibrational escrow. This escrow is essentially the pure, perfect blueprint of all your desired improvements, already held vibrationally in your vortex. And crucially, it contains no thoughts that contradict improvement, only the pure, refined essence of your desires.
So it's not just a holding place for wishes. It's where the universe is actively assembling everything, gathering the parts.
Exactly. The powerful law of attraction then responds to this pure, non-resistant vibration in your vortex, gathering all cooperative components, be it the right people, the ideal circumstances, the necessary resources that perfectly match that vibrational frequency. It draws them toward your already expanded reality, which is held safe in the vortex. The ultimate purpose of this deep dive, and the entire book really, is to help you consciously and deliberately achieve the vibrational frequency of your vortex. This is a journey of remembering who you really are, that powerful, joyous, expanding being you were before physical birth. It's about remembering the joyous purpose of your physical experience, restoring your feeling of inherent self-appreciation, understanding that you are first and foremost a vibrational being, and consistently pointing your awareness toward this swirling vortex, the epicenter of all your creations.
In essence, it's about getting into your vortex, becoming a vibrational match to the magnificent reality that's already assembled and waiting for you, perfectly tuned to your desires. It's truly amazing to consider that everything we perceive as physical reality today first existed as thought, then solidified into a thought form, and finally manifested as reality. This means your dreams, your desires, your aspirations are not just wishes. They are already swirling in your vortex, perfectly formed and waiting for your vibrational alignment to bring them into your physical experience.
Exactly. It's about moving from hoping to aligning, from wishing to knowing that it's already done, vibrationally speaking. Your only job is to match that frequency.
Okay. Now let's take these profound universal truths and apply them to the intricate web of human relationships, which are so often clouded by these flawed premises that the Vortex expertly decodes. We'll start with one of the most fundamental relationships with our parents.
Right. Our physical parents are, of course, immensely significant in our lives, providing the avenue for our physical existence. However, relationships with them are frequently clouded by deeply ingrained beliefs, particularly what Abraham identifies as flawed premise, #2, which is, my parents, because they were here long before I was born, and because they are my parents, know better than I do what is right or wrong for me. And this is closely related to another one, flawed premise, #5, because I am older than you, I am wiser than you, and therefore you should allow me to guide you. These premises often create a dynamic of, well, external dependence and stifled self-expression.
Yeah, these beliefs can be incredibly disempowering, can't they? They foster an environment where you suppress your own inner knowing in favor of external validation. The book clarifies that you didn't come into this physical experience intending to use your parents' opinions to determine the appropriateness of your beliefs or actions. That wasn't the plan. Instead, you came equipped with your own perfect emotional guidance system. Seeking approval from outside yourself, especially from parents, can trample your feeling of freedom and create an emotional imbalance that, if unaddressed, can last long into adulthood. You lose touch with your own inner compass, constantly seeking external permission, looking outside for answers.
And this brings us to our first practical takeaway for reframing challenging parental dynamics. Practical takeaway 1, shifting your premise to transform parental relationships. Jerry Hicks himself shares a really powerful personal anecdote about his quite contentious relationship with his mother. For over 30 years, they were in constant conflict, each trying to make the other conform to their expectations. He was often embarrassed by her nonconformity, and she, in turn, tried to force him to conform.
Oh, wow. That sounds like a brutal cycle of resistance, a classic push and pull. So how did Jerry break that cycle? What was the shift?
Well, Jerry realized their flawed premise was believing they could force a natural-born nonconformist to conform. It was just never going to work. His pivotal shift came when he adopted a new premise, basically telling himself, since I cannot control Mother and Mother can't control me, I'll just continue to be the delightful, uncontrollable me that I am, and I will allow Mother to be my uncontrollable mother. By accepting her differences and even looking for amusement in them, finding the humor, their relationship transformed dramatically for the next 40 years. No crosswords. The profound insight here is that the shift wasn't about her changing, not at all. It was about his internal shift. He stopped offering resistance to who she was, and so her behavior ceased to be a point of irritation for him.
That story is so relatable. I mean, we all have those relationships where we think, if only they would change, it really forces you to look inward. This shifting your premise sounds like one of the most challenging but ultimately rewarding practices because it puts the responsibility for your own experience squarely back on you.
It truly is. This story brilliantly illustrates that you don't need to change another person, even a parent, to find harmony. By changing your perspective, releasing the need to control their behavior or seek their approval, you fundamentally shift your own experience. Your inner alignment creates a different external reality because you're no longer offering resistance to what is, you're allowing.
Okay, the Vortex further addresses parenting with flawed premise, #21. It is my job as a parent to have all the answers so that I can teach those answers to my children. This, the book asserts, is unrealistic for a pretty fundamental reason, isn't it?
It is, yeah, because life itself is eternal expansion, meaning you will never have all the answers. It's impossible. Children often still remember profound truths that adults have, frankly, forgotten, and they come forth to learn from their own life experiences, not solely from your words or dictates. The common pitfall here is that trying to be the all-knowing parent often creates resistance in children who are naturally wired for their own expansion, their own discovery. It's about their unique journey, not just inheriting yours.
Right. This then leads to our second practical takeaway for guiding the next generation. Practical takeaway 2, guiding children to their own inner guidance system. So instead of attempting to control children's behavior and thoughts from a place of maybe your own personal imbalance, the optimal approach for parents is to make them aware of their own emotional guidance system and encourage them to utilize it always. This means influencing them by the power of your own example of alignment with Source, rather than dictating rules from a place of trying to manage their external behavior.
Precisely. When parents consistently align with their own vortex, finding their own joy and inner peace, they become powerful examples, living examples. They support their children's natural process of sifting contrast, clarifying desires, and following their own internal compass. This releases children from the impossible bondage of needing to please their parents and, more importantly, empowers them as powerful creators of their own reality. It cultivates their innate sense of worthiness. It's a profound shift from control to inspiration, fostering independent, joyful beings.
Okay, moving beyond the parent-child dynamic, let's talk about general family harmony. Siblings, extended family. It can certainly be complex. When parents are unaware of their own guidance systems, they often inadvertently try to train children into behaviors they deem favorable, which, as the book points out, essentially asks the child to alter their behavior to positively affect the parent's experience. That sounds like conditional love. If you change, then I will feel better.
This is a crucial point that extends to all family dynamics, absolutely. Trying to achieve proper personal behavior by constantly adjusting to the myriad desires and demands of others you live with is ultimately an impossible task. It just won't work. There's simply too much variety in personality, interest, and individual life purpose. The solution, again, is to seek alignment between you and B first before engaging with any other family member. Get yourself aligned. Never ask for a behavioral change from another as your basis for improved emotion or perspective, because you simply cannot control them. Your focus has to be internal.
That makes perfect sense. It's about managing your own vibration first. This brings us directly to flawed premise, #4. I have come here to live the right way of life and to influence others to the same right way of living. And what feels right to me must be the right way of living for all. This premise, the book argues, is the root of so much unhappiness and conflict on our planet.
It truly is. This belief that our way is the right way is the insidious root of so much global discord, as the Vortex clearly shows. The insight, true expansion, true joy, comes from celebrating diversity, not trying to homogenize it. We didn't come into physical experience intending to whittle down all ideas to a handful everyone agrees on. The opposite was true. We came for joyous expansion born from diversity. Trying to control others, even through subtle influence or coercion, only attracts more of what you push against. It backfires. The book highlights how wars against various societal problems, crime, poverty, drugs, only make them bigger because the focus is on the unwanted, inadvertently activating more of it through the law of attraction. It's the ultimate paradox of resistance.
So how do we apply this to cultivate harmony within our own families when there are genuinely so many differing viewpoints, maybe even conflicting ones?
Okay, this offers our third practical takeaway. Practical takeaway 3. Cultivating family harmony by prioritizing self-alignment. Instead of focusing on unwanted behaviors in others or trying to impose the right way on family members, the key is to prioritize your own alignment with Source, your connection first. When you are aligned, you become a powerful attractor of harmony. You allow others to be who they are, knowing that their choices cannot hinder your joy if you maintain your focus on what you want and how you feel. Your happiness, the book reminds us, is your natural state, and it is derived from your deliberate focus, entirely independent of others' behavior. By consistently focusing on good-feeling subjects, you release yourself from the impossible task of managing everyone else's actions to feel good. True freedom comes from realizing your joy is an inside job, always.
Right. This brings us to a crucial point about the futility of trying to control or even influence others in relationships. We often strive to exert influence, believing it will bring about desired outcomes. But the Vortex offers a pretty different perspective on that, doesn't it?
It does. The book states this endeavor is inherently unsatisfying and ultimately futile. It just doesn't work long term. The attitude of control is steeped in knowing what you don't want, which paradoxically activates a vibration that attracts more of the unwanted. This reinforces flawed premise, #3. If I push hard enough against unwanted things, they will go away.
Yeah, and this is such a critical point about the inclusion-based universe. There is no such thing as no in the law of attraction. When you vehemently say no to something, you're actually including it in your vibration, making it part of your point of attraction and thus drawing it towards you. Your attention to it, regardless of your intention to repel it, is an invitation.
Exactly. The book further explains that when you observe, say, a friend in a negative situation, your keen awareness of their problem, especially when you focus on it and discuss it with them, it's actually a disadvantage to them because you are amplifying the vibration of the problem. You're adding energy to what they don't want. You are of no assistance unless you can consciously focus in the direction of the solution, what they do want, or what you desire for them. It's about being a vibrational asset, holding the vision for their well-being, not just a sympathetic ear that inadvertently reinforces the negative pattern.
This raises a powerful question, especially for parents, but really for anyone. How do we teach boundaries without imposing restrictive rules, without inadvertently focusing on the unwanted? Jerry Hicks asks this very question in the book, and Abraham offers a revolutionary concept that can be applied to all relationships, providing our fourth practical takeaway. Practical takeaway 4, the I never do anything when it feels off principle for all interactions.
This principle is a game changer, honestly. The optimal approach is for you to model alignment. Live it yourself. If something feels off to you, explain that you won't take action until you are in alignment, until it feels right inside. The book suggests a powerful mantra you can teach children, and frankly yourself. I never do anything when something feels off. This teaches them and reminds us to trust their own emotional guidance system above external pressures, whether it's a friend encouraging them to steal candy, or a parent dictating behavior, or a boss asking for something that feels wrong. It's about self-guidance, not external rules, fostering true inner knowing and integrity.
This principle empowers you to control your own vibrational stance, doesn't it? By consistently choosing actions and interactions that feel good to you, you radiate an influence of well-being that others will either gravitate towards or naturally move out of your experience. It's about personal integrity and inner alignment, allowing you to be a beacon of what you desire rather than a resistor of what you don't. You just are the standard.
Okay, now let's consider workplace relationships. That common instinct to leave an uncomfortable situation, like dealing with an oppressive superior or maybe a toxic environment. This brings us to flawed premise, #11. If I leave an unwanted situation, I will find what I am looking for.
Why isn't simply leaving always the solution? I mean, it feels so intuitive to just remove yourself from something unpleasant. Get out of there.
Well, it's a common trap. The book explains that merely taking the physical action of walking away does not hold enough power to compensate for the attraction power of your thoughts. Your vibration goes with you. If you continue to remember, explain, or complain about the previous unwanted characteristics, say, your former boss's oppressiveness or the toxic culture, you keep that vibration active within you. You keep telling that story. This means you are essentially attracting similar experiences and people in your next job, regardless of the new location. It's a profound insight. Your mindset is far more powerful than your location. You take you with you.
That's a true aha moment right there. So the environment isn't the primary problem. Our vibration about the environment is. What then is the value in these uncomfortable situations? Why stick around if it feels bad?
Well, there's immense value, the book points out, in every harassing, oppressive, or uncomfortable relationship, though it's incredibly hard to recognize at the time, of course. These experiences serve as powerful bouncing off places that help you launch powerful rockets of desire for what you do prefer. They clarify what you do want with incredible precision. Your inner being immediately expands to become the vibrational match to that improved experience, holding it for you in your vortex.
So the better solution isn't necessarily to flee immediately, but maybe first to make peace with where you are. Is that right? To acknowledge how the unpleasant person or situation helped you become crystal clear about how you do want to be treated or what kind of environment you do want. To look for the benefit of the relationship, the contrast it provided, rather than just pushing against the unwanted. By chilling out a bit, by offering the benefit of the doubt, or just shifting focus, your resistance subsides, and you allow yourself to move towards your newfound expansion that the unwanted experience has already created for you vibrationally.
Yes, exactly. And this concept is also intertwined with flawed premise, #9. The path to my joy is through my action. Taking action, action, action. Without achieving vibrational alignment with what you truly want first, no amount of action can compensate. It's like swimming upstream. If you continuously focus on problems, the law of attraction brings more problems faster than you can fix them with action. The teaching is clear. Align first, then act. Action born from alignment is inspired action, powerful, effective, often effortless. Action born from misalignment is often frantic, feels like hard work, and yields little lasting change.
Okay, let's talk about romantic relationships and business partnerships. Many of us yearn for an ideal partner, whether in life or work. We often feel finding them is outside our control, like we're waiting for fate or luck. The book sheds much-needed light on this with several critical flawed premises that often hinder our ability to attract these relationships.
Yeah, these include flawed premise, #8. To be in harmony with another, we have to want and believe the same things. We have to be clones. And also flawed premise, #19. A good relationship is one in which the dominant intention of each person involved is to find agreement and harmony with the other. Always seeking agreement. Such beliefs, the book asserts, overlook the immense value of diversity, which is the very basis of expansion and the wellspring of all new ideas and joyful co-creation. Imagine if everyone was the same. There would be no contrast, no new rockets of desire, no expansion. Sameness leads to stagnation.
Right. And the common understanding of a soulmate is often incomplete or misdirected, isn't it? We tend to think of it as finding that one perfect person out there. But the Vortex offers a different, deeper perspective on that feeling of profound connection.
It absolutely does. The book clarifies that while you might have pre-birth intentions to co-create with specific people, that's possible. But the feeling of exhilaration or deep connection people seek in a relationship isn't primarily a function of the other person. It's not about them. It's a function of your own connection with you, your own alignment with Source. Abraham suggests thinking of soulmate as you mating or consciously connecting with your own soul or source or inner being or self. That's the real soulmate connection. When you, in your physical moment, are offering a vibration similar to that of your inner being, you have indeed found your soulmate, meaning you are aligned, you are connected to you. That alignment is what then acts as a powerful magnet, attracting a physical partner who perfectly matches the desires you've cultivated within your vortex. The external follows the internal.
Okay, that makes so much sense. Which brings us to our fifth practical takeaway. Practical takeaway 5. Attracting your ideal partner or business partner by focusing on your own alignment. So if you're looking for a partner, whether romantic or business, instead of focusing on the absence of a partner or the flaws in previous ones or how lonely you feel, focus solely on the wanted characteristics you've clarified through your contrasting experiences. Feel the feeling of having that ideal relationship now. The perfection of that partner means they perfectly match the things your life has caused you to ask for, but your work is to become a match to those desires first. You have to tune your vibration. You simply cannot find your perfect mate from a vibration of missing partner or dissatisfaction or loneliness.
And for a business partner, the advice is strikingly similar. Look for a talented person with abilities that match the needs of your business, who is obviously happy. That's the key indicator. The key is not just skill, but their alignment. Seek compatibility between you and you first, which means be happy yourself, get in your vortex, and then everything you're looking for will find its way to you. Your happiness and alignment are the fundamental frequencies for attracting all good things, including ideal relationships. When you're in your vortex, the universe literally conspires to bring you the perfect cooperative components. They just show up.
Okay. The book also tackles a big one, flawed premise, #20. When I focus upon things of a physical nature, I am less spiritual. This is a belief that many people hold, feeling guilty about enjoying material things or physical pleasure, like good food or sex.
Yeah, this belief is strongly dismissed by Abraham. Being physical does not separate you from Source. You are a physical extension of Source energy, your Source expressing itself physically. And engaging in physical activities, including sex or enjoying delicious food or wanting a nice car, does not diminish your spiritual connection one bit. Spirituality, the book asserts, is about your vibrational choices, about allowing the true spirit that is you to flow without resistance. It's about alignment, not asceticism. There's no virtue in self-deprivation if it doesn't feel good. In fact, a truly spiritual person is someone who is consistently aligned and therefore consistently feels good, regardless of the physical context. Joy is spiritual.
That's liberating. This profound understanding leads to our sixth practical takeaway 6. Coming together vows for authentic, aligned relationships. Abraham offers these powerful coming together vows that really pivot from traditional, often conditional expectations to radical personal responsibility and self-alignment within a relationship.
They really do. These vows emphasize individual well-being as the foundational bedrock for a truly thriving partnership. It goes something like this. Hello, friend. We are here as co-creators, and it is my expectation as we move forward in this marriage, or you could say in this relationship, that both of us will find ourselves satisfied in every way that is possible. It is my desire to discover who I am and who you are, but most important to me is that I be happy so that I may inspire happiness in you. I do not take your life as my responsibility. I take my life as my responsibility, and I am looking forward to a very good time here. I am anticipating that as we move forward in this life.
That just shifts the entire dynamic, doesn't it? From trying to control or change your partner or relying on them for your happiness, to taking complete responsibility for your own happiness and alignment, full stop. From this place of self-sufficiency and inner alignment, you can truly inspire happiness and co-create joy rather than being in a state of codependency, demand, or resentment. It cultivates a relationship of true freedom and expansion, where both partners are vibrant, aligned individuals coming together to amplify their joy, not complete each other's lack.
Absolutely. Now, beyond personal relationships, the vortex also delves into societal structures and government, challenging many deeply held beliefs about how society should operate.
That's a huge topic. The book confronts what it labels flawed premise, #13. There are right ways and wrong ways to live, and all people should discover and agree on what the right way of living is, and then that right way should be enforced. This premise, Abraham argues, is a root cause of tremendous discord and upheaval throughout human history, trying to enforce one way.
It's powerful to consider that the diversity on our planet, with its myriad viewpoints and lifestyles, is actually of immense value. It's not a problem to be solved. From this very variety, all new ideas and expansions spring forth. It's the engine of creation. Enforcing one right way would paradoxically lead to complacency, stagnation, and the endedness of expansion itself. Things would just stop evolving. So the endless debates and conflicts about the right way are actually hindering the very growth and evolution of consciousness that we came here to experience. The insight is clear. Difference is not a problem. It's the engine of progress.
So if no one right way should be enforced, who is best qualified to set the standards for us? Who decides?
Well, the answer is clear from Abraham's perspective. No one is more qualified than you to set the standards for you, period. Your continuous requests for improvement, born from your unique experiences, are constantly being answered by Source, creating your personal path. Your inner being, your emotional guidance, is your ultimate guide, not external laws or societal norms imposed by others.
The book posits that laws, whether religious or secular, are often written from a perspective of lack, from a position of trying to protect or guard someone from something unwanted, focusing on the negative. However, focusing on unwanted things through legislation only perpetuates and amplifies the very behaviors they seek to eliminate. It's that inclusion-based universe principle, again, applied to lawmaking, but on a grand scale.
Yeah. So a perfect government, from this perspective, would be one that allows complete freedom for individuals to be, do, or have as they want, based on the understanding that individuals attract their experiences through their own thought and vibration, personal responsibility at its core. When this understanding is prevalent within a society, the need for extensive restriction and control diminishes significantly. Government's primary role would then be to offer services and facilitate individual well-being, rather than imposing limitations based on fear or perceived lack. It's a vision of a truly free, self-governing society based on vibrational understanding.
Okay, finally, let's explore our natural relationship with animals. It's a fascinating look at beings who seem to embody alignment in a way that many humans strive for.
It really is. The book describes animals as pure extensions of source energy, just like humans. Pure positive energy. However, with a key difference. They're generally less often in a state of resistance or separation from their source. They just don't offer resistant thought the way humans tend to. They primarily remain in a state of connection or alignment with their broader perspective, which is why they appear so self-sufficient, joyful, and in tune with nature. They're just allowing.
So what humans often refer to as an animal's instinct is, from this perspective, an animal's state of alignment with broader perspective, their natural connection.
That's the idea. Animals intuitively move toward anything or anyone who offers benefit and away from anything that does not. They follow the good feeling. They are pure examples of allowing, teaching us by their very existence the power of being in sync with our inner guidance.
Right, and control.
Control, whether over humans or animals, is never truly satisfying for anyone involved. It feels bad to both controller and controlled. In a state of alignment with Source, control of another is never necessary for your survival or well-being. You don't need it when you're aligned. Animals, by their consistent connection to Source, naturally inspire us to our own alignment, demonstrating the profound wisdom and power of allowing. They are living blueprints of Source connection, showing us that inner peace and joy are our natural state, always available when we release resistance.
Okay, as we transition into the fourth section, consciously creating your reality, it's important to synthesize what we've discussed about alignment and apply it with practical tools. We've spoken a lot about allowing. What does it truly mean to practice the art of allowing in our daily lives? What are some of the subtle ways we inadvertently resist our own expansion?
Okay, the art of allowing. It's your deliberate choice of thoughts that enable you to keep up vibrationally with the expansion of your own being. Every contrasting experience in life causes you to expand, launching new desires into your vortex. That expansion happens instantly. However, if you continue to look back at the events or circumstances that cause the expansion, or complain about them, or worry about them, you hold yourself in opposition to that very expansion, which is universally felt as negative emotion. That gap causes the bad feeling. It's not about being passive, not at all. It's It's about active non-resistance. It's a deliberate choice to let go of the oars when you know the current is taking you where you want to go. Common forms of resistance include self-judgment, comparing yourself to others, trying to force outcomes through frantic action, or simply being impatient with the unfolding process. Worry is a big one. Complaining, blame.
Right. So if you're not feeling loving, or you feel unworthy or anxious or frustrated, you're not truly practicing the art of allowing in that moment. Because your broader non-physical self is love and knows your inherent worthiness and well-being. Allowing is simply the process of deliberately choosing thoughts that resonate with the expanded version of yourself that life has created within your vortex. It's about consciously closing that vibrational gap between your current thought and source's perspective.
Absolutely. And the Vortex provides powerful, practical tools to help you do just that. Let's dive into some daily practices for deliberate alignment that you can start applying today.
Great. Our first technique is incredibly simple, but can be profoundly impactful. A, the bedtime and morning alignment exercise.
This simple yet profound practice is about consciously setting your vibration at the beginning and end of each day, kind of like tuning your instrument. Before falling asleep, lie in bed for about 5 minutes with the intention of basking in the most pleasant thoughts you can bring to mind. Focus on gratitude, positive anticipation, happy memories, anything that feels genuinely good. Soak in it. During slumber, you naturally release resistance anyway, and this practice ensures that resistance doesn't immediately reactivate upon waking, giving your inner being a clear channel to work with during the night and into the morning.
And then, when you first return to consciousness in the morning, the mirror image of that practice. Same thing, basically. Deliberately stay in bed for another 5 minutes. Recall those pleasant thoughts from the night before, or find new ones. Allow your naturally higher vibration after sleep to get a strong foothold before the day's events pull you in other directions. Find pleasure in your thoughts, really savor them, and hold them there as long as possible. If any uneasiness surfaces, breathe deeply, find something new to appreciate, and then begin your day. This small, consistent exercise can profoundly change how everyone you meet responds to you because you're radiating a different, more aligned vibration. It's about consciously setting your energetic tone for the day.
Okay, our next practical tool is for intentionally shifting your vibration on specific challenging topics. B, the focus wheel process. This is incredibly effective when you feel, stuck on a particular issue.
Yeah, this is a powerful technique because it truly helps you build vibrational momentum incrementally. It doesn't ask you to make huge leaps you don't believe yet. Let's take an example directly from the book. Feeling that your employer doesn't appreciate your contribution, a common one. First, clearly identify the core desire that arises from that unwanted feeling. What do you want instead? For instance, you might realize, okay, what I really want is, I like it when my employer understands the depth of my interest and the contribution I make. You write this positive desired statement in the center of a focus wheel drawn on a page. That's your target.
Right. Now, you draw 12 small circles around that central statement, like numbers on a clock face. The goal is to fill these peripheral circles with thoughts or beliefs you already hold that are in some way compatible with your central desire, even if they're small, incremental steps. Things you can genuinely agree with right now. The key is to avoid jumping to a belief you don't genuinely hold, like, my boss totally appreciates me, if your current feeling screams otherwise. That just creates more resistance. You're building momentum, not forcing a false belief. For instance, you could start with something really general and easy to believe, like, my boss wants his company to succeed. Well, that's probably true, right?
Right. It's about finding those adjacent thoughts that do feel a bit better and are undeniably true for you. So you start filling the circles with statements like, my boss wants his company to succeed. That's 12 o'clock, a true statement you can believe. His company was well underway when I joined. 1 o'clock again, an undeniable fact that feels okay. Neutral, maybe. There are aspects of this work that I really enjoy. 2 o'clock, finding it genuine positive. I really enjoy it when my boss and I are clicking. 3 o'clock, remembering a positive past experience. We both can feel the synergy of our collaboration sometimes. 4 o'clock. I have felt my boss inspire a new idea in me. 5 o'clock. I'm certain my boss has felt me inspire a new idea into him. 6 o'clock may be a bit of a stretch, but plausible. I think we all realize that we are all in this together. 7 o'clock. I would not want to be without this job right now. 8 o'clock, appreciating the stability. My boss often asks me to lead projects and direct others. 9 o'clock, factual evidence of trust. It is obvious that he has trusted me in some ways. 10 o'clock. I'm happy to work with him on certain things. 11 o'clock.
And as you write these statements, focusing on what you genuinely can believe and feel good about, notice how your emotions shift. You should feel a subtle lifting, a release. You're gently moving up the emotional scale, reducing resistance and building genuine positive momentum. Once you've completed the wheel, feeling the momentum of positive thoughts build, you might then be able to confidently write, in bold letters over the center, "I know my boss sees my value," or maybe just, "I can believe my boss sees my value." You have now deliberately moved your vibration to a new, higher place on this topic, shifting your point of attraction and literally tuning yourself into your vortex regarding this issue. It's a powerful internal transformation that then sets the stage for different external reflections.
That's powerful because you've genuinely changed your inner state, not just pretended or used affirmations you didn't believe. Okay, our third practical tool is for sustaining that positive shift. C, the list of positive aspects process, making it stick.
Right. Once you've successfully shifted your vibration on a topic, maybe using the focus wheel, it's tremendously valuable to keep that resistance-free ball rolling. Don't just stop there. This process helps establish and maintain your new vibrational set point, ensuring the shift isn't fleeting but becomes your new default point of attraction on that subject.
So you simply title a fresh page, "The Positive Aspects of My Employer," or whatever topic you've just shifted on. And from your new aligned perspective inside the vortex, you just list every positive aspect you can think of. Let it flow. Examples might include, he cares about his business. He smiles easily. His business is financially sound. I like what I do here. I really like this man sometimes. I appreciate his beautiful car, the stability of his business, the flexibility I have here, his wonderful laugh. Whatever feels genuinely positive. The key here is not to force it, but to simply allow the positive aspects to flow once you're in that better feeling place.
Exactly. This practice is easy and enjoyable when you are aligned, and the longer you can stay inside the vortex by focusing on positive aspects, by milking the good feelings, the more powerfully you establish your new point of attraction, allowing more wanted experiences related to that topic to manifest effortlessly. You're continuously reinforcing your new higher vibration, essentially programming your reality for sustained well-being on that topic. It becomes your new habit of thought.
All these tools hinge on a foundational understanding of our emotions. Which brings us to Section 5, your emotional guidance system, the ultimate compass. It's truly life-changing to understand what our feelings are really telling us, isn't it? Not just random moods.
It really is. So often, when we feel negative emotion, we assume it means we are doing something wrong, or that the situation is wrong in an absolute sense. We judge ourselves or the situation. However, the book clarifies that your emotions are always, without exception, indicators of the vibrational alignment or discord between your current active thought and the perspective of your broader non-physical self, source, regarding that exact same subject. Negative emotion simply means your active thought is out of alignment with source's view. It's a gap. It's a warning signal, like a check engine light, not a judgment of your worth or goodness.
Yeah, that's a crucial distinction. Source never condemns, never finds fault. Source only loves and appreciates. Source always sees your well-being. So if you feel negative emotion when you find fault with yourself or judge others, it's not because you are wrong or bad. It's because your thought is in complete disagreement with the unconditional love and knowing of Source. Negative emotion does not mean you are not good. It means your thought does not harmonize with Source's thought, creating that uncomfortable feeling of friction or resistance. It's an invitation to shift your perspective closer to Source's.
Understanding this, you can intentionally use your emotions as a guide to move towards alignment. You can feel your way back. The book presents an emotional scale, suggesting that even seemingly negative emotions like revenge or anger, while uncomfortable, are often steps up vibrationally from deeper, more disempowering feelings like powerlessness, fear, or despair. For instance, moving from deep despair to even a flicker of anger can actually be an improvement vibrationally, because anger implies a sense of personal power returning, however misdirected initially. It's movement.
So it's not about jumping from despair to joy instantly, which often feels completely impossible and inauthentic. It's about taking incremental steps up this emotional scale, feeling for the next better feeling thought. For example, moving from powerlessness to maybe revenge, then maybe to anger, then maybe overwhelm, then frustration, then discouragement, then worry, then doubt, then maybe hopefulness, and eventually to belief, optimism, eagerness, appreciation, and joy. Each step represents a closing of the vibrational gap between you and your inner being, a release of resistance.
Exactly. The key is to continuously reach for the best feeling thought you can find from where you are, without demanding huge leaps and without going back down the scale unnecessarily. Just feel for relief. This consistent effort helps you develop an ongoing, conscious relationship with your inner being, guiding you step by step to increasing joy and clarity. It's a deliberate practice of vibrational self-correction, much like fine-tuning a radio dial until you hit the clearest signal, the best feeling.
Okay. Now, a really common struggle. Many adults grapple with current problems, often believing their roots lie deep in childhood traumas or difficult past relationships, and they often blame parents or past experiences for their present unhappiness. It can feel like an inescapable chain, a life sentence, based on what happened back then.
Right, and the book offers a profound, potentially challenging reframe on this. For past suffering to still affect you now, you must keep that unpleasant thought, that old story, alive and active in your current vibration through your present focus. Your suffering isn't about the childhood mistreatment itself or the past event. It's about your current, in this moment, misalignment between your physical self and your non-physical source over which you have complete control right now. The initial event simply launched a rocket of desire for clarity, safety, and well-being into your vortex. Your current suffering comes from resisting that expansion by continuing to focus on the past hurt or injustice. The original event is not the cause of your current suffering. Your current thought about it, your current vibration is.
Wow, that understanding is incredibly liberating, if you can really grasp it. It means you are not a victim of your past, ever. You are a powerful creator in your present moment, always. By choosing to release the blame, to focus on positive aspects now, or just to find a better feeling thought now, and to deliberately shift your focus. You allow yourself back into alignment with the well-being that is your natural state, regardless of what happened before. The book emphasizes that while negative patterns can originate from childhood experiences, your suffering is always about your present alignment. You hold the key to your own relief and liberation right here, right now, by choosing a different thought. Phew, what a truly enlightening deep dive. Today we've explored the profound teachings of the Vortex, uncovering the truth about your fundamental relationship with Source, the immense power of the law of attraction, and how to navigate all your relationships from a place of conscious, intentional alignment.
We really have. We've seen how replacing those prevalent, flawed premises with universal, law-based truths can literally transform your experience of life. From reframing challenging parental dynamics and attracting ideal partners vibrationally, to understanding the true wisdom of your emotions and consciously using powerful tools like the focus wheel and the list of positive aspects, the path to sustained joy, to living in your vortex, is available to you right now. It's just about learning to allow it.
And remember Jerry Hicks' inspiring insight. If I receive one practical idea that I can put into practice from a book, it is well worth spending my time and money, because a single new perspective can redirect my thoughts and thereby redirect my life. We've given you many such ideas today, each with the potential to profoundly shift your trajectory if you choose to apply them.
And remember, your true freedom and happiness come from realizing that no one other than yourself is ultimately responsible for the way you feel. It's not anyone else's job. It's about consciously controlling your own vibrational relationship between your physical self and your non-physical self. That's your only point of control. Joy, love, abundance, success, they're all synonymous with alignment with Source, with the expanded you that life has caused you to become, waiting in your vortex.
So as you go about your day, here's a practical challenge for you, something to put into practice immediately, starting now. Make it your dominant intention to actively look for and find things that feel good when you see them, hear them, smell them, taste them, or touch them. Tune into pleasure. Deliberately solicit, experience, exaggerate, and revel in the best of what's around you right here and now. Don't let anything else distract you from this primary intention for even a moment if you can help it. Focus on feeling good.
This simple, consistent practice of feeling for the better thought, reaching for relief, reaching for pleasure, is your direct path into your vortex. All the cooperative components of the universe, your money, vitality, clarity, ideal relationships, everything you desire, are already assembled and waiting for you in your vibrational reality. Already done. Your only job is to stop offering the resistance, the contradictory thoughts and feelings that keeps you vibrationally apart from it. Just allow.
Don't let insignificant petty little things or past grievances from your day-to-day experience be an excuse not to get into your vortex. Don't let them keep you out. You can just as easily look for a hopeful thought as a pessimistic one. You have that choice in every moment. You can train yourself into this better feeling vibration.
So as we wrap up, consider this truly provocative thought. If your entire physical world is essentially just solidified thought, a concept that, once you grasp it, can feel both empowering and a little mind-bending, then what truth are you choosing to continuously think into being for your future right here, right now? What reality are you building with your deliberate focus? What story are you telling?
That's a powerful question to end on. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive on the Mindset in Stone podcast. Until next time, keep aligning, keep expanding, and keep finding your joy.
We hope you're leaving with fresh insights and a spark of inspiration. Remember to subscribe, leave a review, and check back for more episodes as we dive into new worlds of thought, one book at a time. Until then, keep your mind set in stone and your curiosity open. This has been a Big L Riz Media podcast, where big ideas meet lasting impressions.